Hey guys, okay. So I'm back and I'm going to discuss the future of education. We all know that the old ways of receiving education would be going to school, sitting in front of a class, of an instructor in class, and studying out of books or on the computer. But now we are able, and not to mention taking a test. Um, and now we're experiencing receiving the answers online at home, just on the internet without going to school, sitting in class for many years or hours at a time. Now that the education has started to realize that, if someone knows how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, read, and understand communication, naturally just at home or, a little at school, but really at home, then, what is the future going to look like for colleges? What are colleges going to be doing now that they are pulling out students to learn at home or start their own business and they're not even wasting their time in school? I definitely do wish that I had this years ago and my family practiced this, because therefore I would have never been to school. I would have practiced everything I needed to practice at home if I haven't already practiced it. Because you'll naturally learn what you need to know when you become an adult. And now that we know that, unless you want to be a doctor, then okay, I can see you going to school for years because you need to make sure that you keep that patient alive. That is understandable. So far as running a business, like selling merchandises and making sure that, 10,000 people buy your products and they're like $6 each. When you make sure of those, you can multiply that and you can already see how much money you're going to be making. You can subtract your rent or your bills at home and know how much money you're going to have left over. Those are things that you already know. Let's see, even if you want to go to school or you're thinking about working for the FBI or anything like that, those are techniques that you can learn literally, in person, without going to school. Because if you go to school, usually they will have people study for other things and study for the major, but that will be wasting time. You know how to count and read and write. What about studying for your major 100% so that you can be well at it? Because they say life is short, and I don't like to use that term because, God can bless someone with a long, long, long life. So I don't like to use that term, even though, they compared that from the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament, people lived a long time, and then the New Testament, because the Adam and Eve, had intercourse, blah, blah, blah. They said it was an apple. They bit the apple, but that was just a representation of having intercourse. And because they broke that oath or whatnot, now they're saying because of that sin, we all have a short life. And I know that God's miracles can work, and I know what He promised me, and He promised you. So I'm going to say I don't never use the term life is short. I don't. Not unless I have to, to wake some people up literally. But, what are they going to do with the college classes? Because when I went to a college, recently I went to a college. I didn't go in, but I was just, around the front campus, and I saw a huge sign that says free. So basically, I'm knowing that college is free, and I've also looked at another YouTuber video, and she also said that college was free. And I made that statement on my Instagram when I presented my plan for the country if I wanted to be president. When I become president. I'm hearing we're not going to have one, but we still need a leader. If we don't, it will be good to have a leader just for people who aren't there yet. You do have a great person to help lead. Um, to set an example for how your lifestyle can be. If you follow a person who is giving you righteous information for your lifestyle. So yeah. So if college is free, so since college is free, we're just gonna say college is free. Since college is free, and you're no longer having to pay for it anymore because all the information in your classroom is online. If the information online is not more than what is presented in the classroom, what would be the use for that? For going to school and learning something that you already know plus your major. You want to focus more on your major. So, that's going to be a huge building. Those are going to be huge buildings and not many students, So maybe you can fill some of those rooms up with, I don't know, maybe you can fill some of those rooms up with, more hands-on experience, because each classroom was designed for each subject, for certain subjects. So, certain classes needed a certain amount of space. They had a certain amount of technology, but because of the world is all going on the computer and people are going to start, because the office jobs are leaving. So people are now going to start being very more productive on camera now. So, what would be a great idea for these extra, spaces that are presented in these huge colleges and universities? What is going to be there if everything is going to be digital and online? People barely are even going to be inside of school, So, and believe it or not, because people are becoming vegans, they're becoming their own doctor. So, going to the hospital would be, less. It will be a trip that will be taken from less people because they don't have high blood, they don't have, heart failure, they don't have diabetes because they're eating healthier and they're becoming their own medicine, their own doctor now. So then, you may not have that many doctors, in the hospital, and if you do, that's pretty much it. But all of your information and every type of education study that would be assisted would be obtained for learning online. So people are not going to come to school just to get on a computer. They're more likely going to stay at home, and if they do, it's just going to be on the computer, but I highly doubt people are going to leave their home and go out there and get on a computer when they can be doing other things, but that is one of the things, if you do, have students come inside of a school and knowing that the future is going to be on a computer, you might as well just fit the entire classroom up, all the rooms with computers. Like, it just needs to be computer, no empty desk at all, because everything is done on a computer. So that is something that I wanted to know. And if you know exactly what I'm talking about, please comment below and let me know your ideas on that. See you guys.